Hey, you clicked on this video for some reason and here we are. You're watching me and I'm talking to you. I don't know who you are, but I'm talking to this camera and for better or for worse, you're about to hear this poem I'm about to read to you. This poem was introduced to me on a CD album by Dr. Demento. Dr. Demento seems to be a person who puts together compilations of novelty songs and poems and ridiculous skits and so on. And on this particular album that Dr. Demento made, there was a reciting of this poem by Shel Silverstein, which I'd like to read for you here today. And it goes a little something like this. Sylvia Synthia Stout would not take the garbage out. She'd scour the pots and scrub the pans, candy the yams and spice the hams. And though her daddy would scream and shout, she simply would not take the garbage out. And so it piled up to the ceilings. Coffee grounds and potato peelings, brown bananas and rotten peas, chunks of sour cottage cheese that filled the can and covered the floor, cracked the windows and blocked the door with bacon rinds and chicken bones, drippy ends of ice cream cones, prune pits, peach pits, and orange peel, globby glumps of cold oatmeal, pizza crust and withered greens and soggy beans and tangerines and crusts of blackburn buttered toast and gristly bits of beefy roast. The garbage rolled across the hall. It raised the roof. It broke the wall. I mean greasy napkins and cookie crumbs, globs of gooey bubble gums, cellophane from green bologna, rubbery blubbery macaroni, peanut butter caked and dry, curdled milk and crusts of pie, moldy mellops, dried up mustard, eggshells mixed with lemon custards, cold french fries and rancid meat, yellow lumps of cream of wheat. At last, the garbage, it reached so high that finally it touched the sky. All of the neighbors moved away and none of her friends would come and play. And finally, Sylvia Synthia Stout said, "Okay, I'll take the garbage out." But then, of course, it was too late. The garbage reached across the state, from New York to the Golden Gate, and there in the garbage she did hate, poor Sarah met an awful fate that I cannot right now relate, because the hour is much too late. But children, remember Sarah Stout, and always take the garbage out. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I could not have done it without this piece of paper I printed up of the poem on it, because you can only remember so many things from your childhood, and a lot of the memories kind of got jumbled up. So when it came down to reciting this, I could recite most of it, but there's some tongue twisters in there because that's the nature of Shel Silverstein's poems. They can be a little tricky to say and pretty tricky to announce. Anyways, I thought I'd share a little bit of my childhood with you folks here today and a little bit of a plug-in for Dr. Demento, something that helped shape my mind as a youth. So that probably answers a lot of questions about how weird I am and why I'm weird. It played an influence on me as a young man growing up. It's funny how often poetry comes up in our everyday lives and we take it for granted that it's not poetry, when it is poetry. Lyrics and music that we listen to is arguably a form of poetry. Most certainly hip-hop lyrics are a form of poetry as well. I mean, just the spoken language, if you use it in a right way to make it aesthetically pleasing, can be argued to be a form of poetry. I mean, what is art anyways? Art, according to my definition, is very simple. It's creative expression. To me, anything is art as long as someone's expressing themselves in a creative way. So, making YouTube videos is a form of art. Reciting poetry is a form of art. Writing poetry is a form of art. The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you eat, the way you sleep, it's all an art form because there's a method to it and there's an approach to it and there's a way you can do it and make it all your own in a creative way. But I digress. This is about poetry, and poetry is a form of art. Yes, it is indeed. And I was happy to share this poem with you here today on my YouTube channel. So I do a lot of different things here on my YouTube channel. Reading poetry is one of the smaller things I do. I've only made a couple videos on poetry readings. And I remember hearing this poem as a child growing up, listening to it on the Dr. Demento CD that I keep pointing at over there. And I just had to share it with folks here on the YouTube channel because I thought that I would do more poetry reciting, because as I'm getting older, I'm starting to appreciate poetry more I used to write poetry a lot when I was a young man because I wanted to express myself in a creative way, but I was always embarrassed about what I was writing, and I would take all my notebooks and burn them on a regular basis or throw them away or destroy them because I didn't want anyone else to see the embarrassing feelings I had written down on paper. But nowadays, I'm not embarrassed about how I feel. I'm not embarrassed about writing my feelings down. I'm not embarrassed about sharing myself with the world anymore. And that's the purpose of this YouTube channel, is to share who I am with the world and just to let everyone else out there know that I'm just a human being and I'm absolutely weird. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And I'm just kind of putting myself out there in the world. I'm giving you all my faults, all my ups, my downs, my lefts, my rights. And I just want to be me. I want just people to know who I am, because I might have a lot of friends on social media and I might be a fairly popular person in general in the southeastern Michigan area, but when it comes down to it, I'm a pretty private guy. I'm kind of introverted, despite me wanting to go on stage and show off my circus skills and to be a performance artist and make people smile and laugh. The amount of people that I keep close to me in my social circle is very, very small, and I'm okay with that because I get to spend more quality time with the people I hold close and dear to me. Because when it comes down to it, we only have so many hours in a day. We only have so many days in a week. And it's all up to us to figure out how we want to spend that time. And for some reason, you spent some of that time watching this video about Sylvia Synthia Stout and about TheAmazingFlec talking about his childhood, his attitudes about poetry, and what it's like to make videos on YouTube and to creatively express himself, and how ironic it is that he's even talking about it while you're watching this. It's just kind of weird. So I'll end it right about now. Thanks very much for watching this video. I appreciate it very much. Please know that I post every single day for the year of 2021 here on YouTube. I'm a daily content creator. I never done this before except for this year, for the year of 2021, posting every single day. I've done us both a favor. I've organized all the content I've made this year into various playlists, and all these different playlists will make it easier to find something that may pique your interest. And that's where I'll end this video here today. I want to thank you again for watching and remind you to never give up and to do your best, and to stay true to you and who you are, and to be amazing. What I mean by be amazing is to be the best version of exactly who you are. Thank you once again for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, good night. Bye-bye.